Scooby bop bop do bop bop bop.
Wow.
Deep deep deep.
Super funky. Are we recording?
Yeah, we are. I was going for a sort of a sax man. Fucking play something, sax man.
It's called scat.
Scooby bop. What is?
Isn't that called scat?
Yeah. So what? Deal with it.
I knew that word and I was using it.
Thank you. No, isn't that a music word? Deep 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 deep.
Sounds like you had a nice Memorial Day weekend.
I did. Positive experience.
Did you guys go in the pool?
That was nonstop pool.
Yeah.
I was never allergic as a young person.
Mm-hmm.
And then now when I get that pollen up in my zone, I have negative experiences.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all ponderosa pine over there.
Mm-hmm.
And you look out and the wind blows and then you just see this like yellow cloud of
clouds,
pollen going wild. Ugh.
So you probably didn't play any games. Or you took your Switch, I bet, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I never really take it anywhere. Generally speaking, I go someplace to be in that place. But the Switch is too good, so I took it.
Nice.
I played a ton of Disgaea, played a bunch more Has-Been Heroes. Like, I had the Has-Been Heroes run of the century.
Yeah.
I got all the best spells.
Right.
And I mean, God only knows what would have stopped me. I'm like on the 4th world.
Oh, you're still going?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I got a new character. I got this crazy ass like tiger monk,
Okay.
and it unleashed, and you know how when you get a new character, you get like fucking 50 unlocks.
Right.
So it added all these new fire spells to the mix and a bunch of new equipment.
Yeah.
And now it's hard AF even when you're starting out.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever see that. Like, I feel like I hit a wall and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Now it's too hard for me.
Yeah. And it could be. I mean, that's the roguelike thing, right?
Yeah.
You found the Has-Been Heroes that was right for you.
Yeah.
But I was just completely like when you unlock a new character, the game stops and you have to start over.
Yeah.
Or basically you replay with the new character. And I don't think anything could have stopped me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had exactly the right combination of spells. I didn't appreciate the Lucha character before.
Yeah, his is like the lightning.
Yeah. So he has the main thing he has, the base fighter that you get. I was just hooked on. It's sort of like when I started playing Protectorate and just had Krios.
Yeah.
Right. Eventually, I stopped playing Krios because I sort of had like a rut of how to find success with that character.
Yeah.
But that rut keeps you from growing your skills. So the basic fighter has that awesome hot potato ability.
Right.
And he hits you with that. He can do it from, on any lane.
Right.
And it affects the enemy directly. And then you just beat the shit out of them because for most
it's going to be a stun usually.
For most base units, it's a stun. So this dude, I did not appreciate his thing. So he has a one-hit attack, right? Because he's that tough archetype. He has a lightning ability that he uses on himself or on one of your other party members that can take away like 20 stamina.
Yeah.
Right? But for the characters, you really have to look at the weapon properties because they determine so much about how the character plays. Like the rogue has a very specific, like that's where your damage comes from and like your base crit bonus. Like a lot of that stuff that we think of as being a part of a class is just a function of their weapon.
Okay.
And so there's extra text in there that communicates it. So this tiger monk that I have regenerates health on hits every time.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it ain't bad. This fucking luchador, whenever you cast any spell, his melee attack refreshes. So I punch somebody, I clean up somebody else's lane.
Right.
Then I cast that on myself.
Now you're ready to hit again.
Now I'm ready to hit again, and they're stunned because I used the spell.
Right.
So then I bring somebody else in. Like, it is a total lifesaver. I did not appreciate like how good it was.
Yeah.
But in this particular run, there's a set of spells that are portals. So you cast them on an enemy, and then it brings the enemy like right into your face. So you know how sometimes with a big mess of creatures, you don't really get to choose?
Right.
You have to time it, and that just costs you seconds.
Costs you time, yeah.
Right? And so I select a target, whoever I want, and then I just bring them right in front of me. And
Beat the shit out of them.
yeah, but it also hits them for 20 stamina.
Oh, so they come to you stunned.
Yeah. So my lightning guy has a water damage portal that grabs guys and brings them up to me and hits for 20 stamina. A lightning portal that hits guys and brings them back for more stamina, but I have it in a character slot that makes the electricity arc farther. Then I have the personal electricity thing. So it's like I can just like grab people. The
Yeah.
act of grabbing them refreshes
them.
my melee.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good.
Man, it was just a fucking, it was like a roto-rooter.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fucking insane. They had to stop me. God only knows.
How far you could have gone?
Yeah, exactly. They had to put an end to my reign of terror.
Did you play, you said you played Disgaea too?
I did.
Yeah, I finally unlocked the item world, so I'll probably never play the story again.
Dude, you have to bring it in.
Okay.
Let's just put it in the dock and let's, as we used to do.
I can bring it in Friday, yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
Sure.
Put it in the dock. We're going to go into a sword.
I'm in an axe right now.
Exactly. And we're going to get buck ass wild. Buck axe wild.
Buck Axe Wild, yeah.
I can't even wait. Like that is exactly like that's the life I want.
Yeah.
There's 2 lives I want. No, there's 3 lives. So the first life is to play this guy with you on the couch and improve axes.
Okay.
The second is to be the dungeon master of the C team. And that's already happening. That's in progress. I think
so far none of these are big asks.
No, that's the secret of happiness.
Oh.
Is attainable goals.
Yeah.
The third is Ryan and I have been putting together we've been putting together the league for the wrestling RPG.
Oh, yeah.
So it's vital that a league has a name that is like an acronym, at least for us.
Like the WWE?
Yeah, exactly. Optimally, it should spell a word.
Oh, I see.
Right? It can't
Okay.
just have a moniker. It has to have, for us, it has to have an acronym. So what we've settled on is Brawl,
Okay.
and it's spelled BRAAWL.
What is it?
It's the Bi-Coastal Regional All-American Wrestling League.
Wouldn't that be Bacrawl?
No, there's a hyphen. So we have come up with like the 20-year history of this
Yeah.
wrestling league.
Okay.
All the the current belt holder, the commissioner. We've named and created personalities for the announcers. We've come up with some NPC wrestlers. Like, how does Brawl relate to the other ones? Like, Brawl itself
Yeah.
is the result of acquisitions. So there used to be Bi-Coastal, Regional, and All-American Wrestling.
And they were all assimilated?
Well, yeah, because this is like legit. This is how it works.
Yeah, I know you used to watch wrestling.
Yeah. So the crazy thing is that in this the game Worldwide Wrestling, the RPG that we want to play on the Strem,
Yeah.
I mean, it basically covers in front of the camera and then like backstage drama.
Okay.
So when you're wrestling with people, you're generating this stat called heat, which is just like the intensity of that rivalry. And then that heat lets you do other stuff. But get a load of this. You have the creative, which is what they call their dungeon master. I mean, all the
Okay.
fights are fixed.
Just like real ones?
All the fights are.
Why would you play a game if the outcome is already determined?
It's because it has to do with the creating a character and then creating an overall story. So you're all collaborating on. Everybody is actually collaborating on an overarching like narrative. Like everyone is basically creating the story of the league, right? So it's just sort of like in a movie. It's like
You can't succeed.
but you can succeed if the creative wants you to. But your career. This is the thing: is that people lose in wrestling matches all the time. It doesn't affect their individual.
I have
personal
to admit
success.
that I don't get wrestling.
Well, yeah, exactly. But it's just being a part of that story and like losing to a bad guy. Like these are all parts of a story, right? So even losing to a bad guy doesn't actually make you a bad person or even a loser. Like it's all rigged.
But during the course of the game,
Yeah.
am I trying to win? I'm not trying to win.
It's all about building your personal brand, which doesn't really get affected 100% of the time by losing. If you lose to a villain, you have to lose to a villain early in your career, right? That's how it works. It's what makes them a villain and you a hero.
I gotta say, this sounds really dumb.
Well, no, listen. First of all, it's not dumb.
Okay.
Second of all, it's great.
Oh,
So between those two polls,
so are you rolling dice,
yes, exactly.
even though you already lost?
Losing and winning means something different in wrestling.
Interesting. Okay.
This isn't just like when I say, "Hey, I win a different way." I call it failure. It's not like that. It's different.
Okay.
Anyway, as always, thanks for your support. I appreciate it.
Sounds really lame.
No, it's cool as hell, and you're bad.
Okay.
It's actually, you have it backwards. So let's see. Let's figure out what's next.
If I sat down to play a game with you and you said, "I've already decided that you lost," I would probably not keep playing that game.
Well, no. I can understand why. I can understand why you might not do that.
Yeah.
But we're gonna find an elite cadre, like the A team, and we'll
And
succeed.
you won't tell them how the game works.
Oh no!
Otherwise they won't play it.
Well, no. Listen, I'm a good person with great ideas, and that's what you need to. That's what you need to file away.
Okay. Did you try ARMS?
I had like hotel internet, so
It wasn't great.
I didn't have like 100%
Yeah.
availability to access it, and also I was doing a bunch of other stuff.
Sure. You're on vacation.
Yeah, I've read how people feel about ARMS.
It was not great.
Really?
I didn't think so.
Huh.
It was certainly not great with motion controls.
Oh yeah, what I played it with the sticks in.
Yeah, with the sticks, it's a game. I think
Oh, but the motion one felt a little like
the motion
early,
one is novel, but I don't think you could compete in that way.
like early Wii.
Yeah,
Is what it felt like.
yeah.
Yeah.
But really, it's very simple. It's just punch or punch.
Even with the punch, even
Modifiers.
with I like the fists you can equip.
Yeah, some of
You
the
don't feel there's any straps?
Some of the fists are bigger. Some fists like come back to you. I mean, I don't know. There just wasn't anything there. I was not having fun.
Yeah, I played the robot, like the big yellow robot,
Yeah,
and I had some interesting fists in there.
yeah. There's some interesting fists.
Like the triple split on the fist. That was fun to play with.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure I spent as much time with it as you did.
The all for every man for himself one where it's just like all brawl or whatever is horrible. That's just a mess. Where you're just getting punched in the back of the head and then like
well, no, that doesn't sound good.
yeah.
Did you try any of the sports, like the sports one, like the volleyball or the?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like those are neat ideas. Like in terms of, obviously, if we're fighting each other, it's going to get right down into the weeds, like numerically.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm using those interactions to exert force on a ball or something else,
Yeah.
that might feel sufficiently different. I felt like it controlled well.
I felt like the motion controls were horrible.
Oh, I never even tried.
Yeah.
I mean,
They were really bad.
I knew right away that I didn't want to play it that way.
Yeah. Well, I was curious about the like curving your punches and stuff, but
Oh yeah. It feels curving the punches feels very good with the analog stick.
yeah.
In my experience. Man, I haven't watched a Pirates of the Caribbean movie in a very long time.
Yeah, I liked the first one, and I think that was probably enough.
Yeah, but they just kept going.
Yeah.
Like, now there's a new one?
Yeah, I guess so.
5? Is it really 5?
I have no idea. I have not kept up with it.
Yeah, I don't. 5 seems like a lot. I don't know. It's a cool ride.
It is a cool ride.
And I like the ride. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you have your opening weekend and you make $324 million,
It's pretty good.
that's, go get it.
I watched that this documentary.
No, Batman and
Bill.
Bill. That's on Hulu, right?
It was on Hulu. Yeah, it's fascinating.
What's the hook?
The hook is that Bob Kane, is that the guy's name? Yeah, the Batman guy. He was an artist in the 30s, right? And he had this writer friend.
This is Bob Kane,
Yeah, this writer friend, much like you, who
who didn't know about comics.
didn't really. Yeah, I mean, no, he was a comics writer. Like he.
Oh, okay.
But he was just a writer guy, and Bob was like, "Hey, I'm coming up with this Batman character," and he'd drawn like a picture of this guy in like a red suit and like a little half mask, and Bill,
Well, which would have been appropriate for
At the time, yeah.
because the colors were garish.
yeah, and Bill's like, "No, this is too bright. Like a bat, he should look like a bat." Like he basically
Said, hey, if you want a big bat guy,
yeah, he verbally described, like he said what Batman should look like. And then he was ghostwriting all the Batman comics. Like he would write them, even though it was Bob turning them in. Bill would write them, and he wrote all of these characters, the Joker.
Oh, is that why? Is that why it says Batman created by Bob Kane?
So what that was Bob then went to DC. They weren't DC at the time. They were
Yeah,
like
Detective
syndicates.
Comics?
Yeah. And he's like, "Hey, I've got this character. It's all mine, and I'll sign a contract with you, but you have to say wherever Batman appears, created solely by Bob Kane. Can never say
No.
anything about anybody else." And he never even told them about Bill.
Did Bill keep writing?
So Bill labored away. Well, I don't want to tell the whole
You
story.
have to.
You should watch it.
This is factual.
Yeah, but it's a spoiler still, right?
No, you can tell me facts. You can't spoil history.
Well, so he kept writing this comic for years and never getting any appreciation. In the 60s, when Batman exploded,
Well, yeah.
Bob got crazy rich. He loved being famous, loved going out, dressing as Batman, going to the premieres and stuff like that. And this author started hearing stories in the comic industry about this guy, Bill, and how he deserved credit. And so he started investigating Bill's history, trying to find out who he was, but could not make a claim on the rights without an heir.
Not.
So
an
heir to Bill's, like he needed some, like Bill's child to say, "Hey, I deserve a piece of the Batman pie." Like the guy making this movie can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So he spends this movie sort of trying to track down Bill's family and let them know what he did and help them get him the recognition he deserved. Ends up finding Bill's granddaughter, and it's a really cool story.
That's so wrong.
But he was finally credited, I mean, obviously long after his death, but he was credited on Batman versus Superman. Was the first movie where it said Bob and Bill on there.
Yeah, but this went on until 90. He didn't die until 98. Like
he was never in his life given any credit for creating the Batman.
Sure, but I'm saying that like Bob Kane
was evil.
He died in 1998. He had a chance to see Batman take over the world.
Yeah.
Like you have the world is broken up into Superman people and Batman people.
Yeah. That's
like a Coke Pepsi tier bifurcator.
Yeah.
That's horrible. And I'll tell you why. Because, it's happened to us. There are people who don't know how to make stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
He can draw. He had an idea, but he didn't have Batman.
Mm-mm.
And Batman is the actual thing.
Yeah.
Batman, the concept.
Well, even all the stuff like Gotham. He did all of that. This Bill guy named all that stuff.
People
came up with all of it.
Love that stuff. How about the Joker?
That's Bill.
Robin?
Bill. Catwoman. Bill.
Clayface?
No, like
Catwoman too?
All the early stuff was him, yeah. All the ideas were, remember like all this stuff where like they'd be fighting on a giant typewriter, like the huge props.
Well, no, the ideas were vast.
The Batcave. The first time it was ever called the Batcave. Like that's Bill.
Yeah, but people still use that word.
Yeah.
Like that's power. I mean, that's the power I want.
Yeah.
Right? That's the power I seek actively.
But the artist, like Bob, was like, "Hey, I'm the one drawing it. You don't need to know about this other guy," because back then it was very common to have ghostwriters, and they would just work in a factory all lined up, and they would write comic book stories. Like,
yeah, but
things were hard for your people.
Exactly. But I'm just saying that like when people I'm used to getting fucked by business people.
Yeah.
Right? But when we do that to each other,
yeah, he was fucked by an artist. And what's interesting is Bob, at the end of his life, did an interview that was recorded on like a tape cassette. And this guy who was doing the documentary was able to get it. And it's the only time in his entire life where he sort of let it slip for a second. He said, Bill,
really?
I feel very bad for what happened to Bill. He deserves a lot of credit for Batman. He really is responsible for what Batman is today. Like he let down that guard after, he was about to die at that point, like it's the end of his life. But that ended up being a big part of the evidence that, he did do all this stuff.
No. 2 stiff wings that were sticking out.
Yeah.
No gloves, no gauntlets.
No mask, no bat symbol. Commissioner Gordon, that's Bill.
Oh, no. Well.
But it was fascinating because like Bill ended up getting married. He had a son, but the son was gay, passed away of AIDS.
Bill?
Yeah, Bill's son died of AIDS. So the guy making the documentary just assumed he didn't have any kids. Turns out he did. Had a granddaughter. So Bill had this granddaughter.
Oh man, that's ugh.
Yeah.
I feel gross. It showed me
really how I should have done things.
Well, yeah, you fucked up.
I fucked up. Could have been Penny Arcade, created by Mike Krahulik.
Yeah, Mike Kane. Jesus. You know what, though? I would have done it.
Oh, yeah. Writers. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have done it.
Yeah.
I would have done it anyway, you know?
I fucking cried at that movie, though.
Well, you have to, because that's a real story.
So
and it's a story you know something about. But it's the truth. I don't want to get past it yet. There is nothing like I'm just who is required, you know?
yeah, like Harry Potter.
Yeah. Well, no, like the room in Harry Potter.
Sure.
But yeah, the work is actually way more important than me.
Sure. Or the recognition.
Yeah, who cares about that?
yeah.
Well, it's you know, it's like for Bob Kane, people seeing it and recognizing it, you know, that's the recognition,
Yeah.
right? The work, and he's directly associated with that work. But this Bill Finger person is too,
Yeah.
right? And he did succeed. Like
Oh,
he
yeah.
succeeded beyond any writer's dreams.
Yeah, he created the most well-recognized superhero. Like in one of the documentary was like, anywhere I go in the world, like in Africa, some little village, I go, do you know Batman? They're like, oh yeah, somebody knows Batman there.
Yeah, again, like, and that would be enough. Now, what he did to him was unfair and wrong,
Sure.
but Bill knew that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, and he still would have done it, and I would have done that on this too.
He died alone, like poor, no one ever knowing any of the work that he did.
Yeah, I mean, I've never known the name Bill
Bill
Finger,
Finger, yeah.
until right now.
Yeah.
God, is there a picture of him? Or is there a sad picture
There's
of him?
pictures. Yeah, this guy dug up all kinds of photos. I mean, it's a really moving documentary about this guy's life. and-
Oh man, this is a handsome gentleman.
yeah.
This is a handsome ass fucking gentleman. Oh, well, his name was Milton Dark Tidings.
Yeah, and I didn't spoil. Like, there's some stuff in there. If
No,
you heard
I'll-
me talk about the movie, you should go watch it. Still.
Yeah, I'm gonna feast on it. Oh man, what else did he make? What other cool shit did he make?
All kinds of good stuff.
All kinds of villain.
Yeah.
Green Lantern. Yeah, the Green Lantern is, again, my comic stuff is all, from other people. Like, I've absorbed it from other people.
Yeah.
But the Green Lantern is a mythology.
Yeah. The
Like
Lantern Corps.
The Lantern Corps.
yeah.
And they're still doing that. Like that. There's a whole huge DC event that was just about this vast, like all the other lanterns, and
Yeah.
like they're still making money.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a bill.
God.
Yeah, actually, this weekend was a big comics weekend for me. We went on Friday to a comic book store. and-
Yeah, I do this with my kid. Like my kids read way more comics than I ever read.
Oh yeah, and it's tough because Noah he was struggling reading, and he didn't like reading the stuff they were giving because I don't know if they do this in your kids' school. They're like, he's at an F, so here are all the books that are level, for level F, and it's like Sally went to the park. Like there's nothing there.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, but we go and get some comics. Like if he gets like a Gumball comic, he's gonna try to read that. Like he's working.
Well,
through it.
exactly. Well, yeah, because there's a payload there.
Yeah. So anyway, we went and got a bunch of comics. I ended up I got a graphic novel of Superman that was like, God, it was huge, and it was like the World series. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's from way back, I think.
Yeah, it was. It was really good. But I was thinking because while I was there, I was looking at the Civil War stuff, all the Marvel Civil War stuff, and I was like, God, what I want to read is about the War World and Brainiac, and they're using like temporal displacement and all this magic stuff. I don't want to read about how Captain America is like Donald Trump now. Like I don't want any of that stuff. Like that seems so boring.
Well, you want to reach outside that.
Yeah, I want the huge stories.
Well, exactly. And it can all lead back.
Sure.
You can have ideas and you can make applications, but you want aspirational.
Yeah.
You want to see something aspirational.
Yeah, we're talking about the Big Bang. Like that's how this is huge.
Yeah. Well, do we want to draw attention to the
butt?
No, the ass.
The rump.
Michael, I need you to help me.
Sorry.
One time, as I have helped you.
Yeah, what do you need?
I would like to. Is there a way that we can make a strip about Bill and me, or about Batman and Bill? Where because when you said you should have done it that way, like that's really funny to me.
Yeah, this was an instructional video that I watched about 20 years too late.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like I feel like that comic is awesome, but it will also put people in front of this fucking show.
You know, the guy tweeted at me. After I
For
said,
real?
yeah, I said, hey, I watched this documentary. It was great. The guy that made it tweeted back at me and said, glad you liked it. Like,
So what? Okay, never mind. I'm not going to ask because I want people to go and watch it. But I was going to say, so what happened with his granddaughter? No, don't say.
I'm not
going to
say anything
shit.
because I would say the most moving part of the story is sort of Bill's family legacy.
Here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to pull up the documentary right now and just watch the last 5 minutes. That'll get me in there.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
I mean, okay, last time. Then we're going to go back into this thing. Do you see how they have fucking made this cranium rat shit?
I have, yeah. With the cranium rat
God
face.
damn it.
Yeah.
I don't need that. Like, I have an identity. Like, I don't.
I gotta show you. So you saw the Thornwatch stuff I was working on this weekend?
Hell yeah, I did.
I sent this picture to Amy.
I even kicked out the Twardo.
And this is what Amy sent me back. She drew huge tits on it.
But why? Amy.
And then this is what she drew. Thorn sluts. These bitches are thorny.
But Amy.
Yeah.
Come on. Like.
It's not cool. I told her she's a fucking pervert.
Well, yeah, God. Well, listen, that I know that's true.
Yeah.
It's like that. I have basically lashed her to an erotic engine in the C-Team campaign.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good.
Like I have invented a woman from whole cloth, a character that I bet she thinks about multiple times a day.
Probably more than Levin.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what is Brahma Luye delivering?
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to fucking turn the knife on that shit.
Okay, yeah, let's talk. Let's do the Bill and me, or Batman and Bill. You and Bill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's about an artist that completely fucked over his writer friend.
Did you see Batman and Me?
Bill and Batman.
Batman and Bill.
Batman and Bill.
Batmania.
Batman.
Batmania Deluxe. Yeah, you catch Batman and that documentary, Batman and Bill. Is this a recommendation? Yeah. I mean, I wonder if, much like in real life, if Tycho has a special place conceptually for Gabe recommendations.
Yeah.
That consists of not viewing them.
Yeah. It's about an artist who fucks over his writer friend. I guess I can see why you'd like it. I consider it an instructional video that I watched about 20 years too late.
Yeah, it's like one of those instructional DVDs, like how to play a pool.
How to play pool.
How to fuck you create it.
Yeah.
No, it's about how Bob Kane fucked over.
Allowed all the wealth and praise of Batman to accrue to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got rich off of it.
Can you imagine?
The wealth.
Dude, there's wealth, and then there's wealth.
Yeah.
You know, this is wealth.
That's wealth.
As soon as you get into that PH territory,
yeah,
allowing all the wealth and praise to accrue solely to him.
Yeah, still solely to him.
Yeah, it's just like, It's like, so where is this going?
Pretty horrible movie then, huh? I don't know, made a lot of good points.
No, I think of it as a. No, I love that line as a response. It's like, I think of it as a helpful instructional video.
Yeah. And in the bottom of that panel,
yeah,
I should do Penny Arcade created by, and I should do Mike Krahulik.
No,
but
down in the lower
like
right
how
hand
he does
corner.
the Bob Kane with the big letter O, and like I should copy it.
Yeah, but just remove the copyright or just, keep the copyright symbol, but then just like Mike Krahulik.
Yeah, that one got me. I'll do that.
That's funny as hell. That has to happen.
Yeah.
I think it was a helpful instructional video that I watched 20 years too late. Just exactly like it's about how Bob Kane put his writer friend, allowing all the wealth and praise to accrue solely to him. I think it was a helpful instructional video. Yeah. So where's the? So we know about the lower right hand corner. We know about the signature. What's the end here? Is it just sort of like, so what are you going to do now? It's like, are you going to try to make up for lost time?
Yeah, I don't know if it needs a line after that. I think that's pretty solid.
But what is it? I'm saying, what happens in the third panel?
Can't you stretch it out so that is the third panel?
Well, right now there's only, let's see.
Because I think of the instructional video as the punch.
Oh, then that's easy then. Yeah, here. If we had a line from Tycho that was about the recommendations
Okay.
and the value he places on them.
So this is after the recommendation?
Yeah, exactly. So this is. Did you catch that documentary, Batman and Bill? This would be like this would be like a rejoinder from Tycho in frame 1.
Okay.
And then we'd have enough text because otherwise it'd be a little bit too thin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it'll be part of the punch is really the signature.
Right.
Yeah, that Bob Kane signature. God, I can see it in my eyes.
But now, right? Like when you know what he was doing. Yeah, he was legit evil.
Yeah. Is this a recommendation?
Your recommendations are 100% garbage. I've hated everything you've ever recommended I watch or read or listen to.
Food.
Food, music, movies, it's all trash. You have horrible taste in everything.
Which is in everything, which is impressive.
No, this is good. This is about a...
I've hated everything you've ever recommended. You have horrible taste in everything, which is impressive in its own way. No, this is good.
An artist that fucks over his writer friend.
No, don't even say Bob Kane, right?
Yeah.
Just make it as general as possible.
Yeah.
It's about an artist who fucks over his writer friend, allowing all the wealth and praise to accrue solely to him. But now it's ambiguous. Him is ambiguous in this case.
Yeah, you could say it's about Bob Kane fucking over his writer friend, allowing all the wealth and...
I like that too. I get it, but I also like artist is general, and so it's directly applicable.
Exactly.
Right? Himself.
Done.
Now it can't be. Ha-ha!
Aha!
That's my contribution.
Language.
Here, so let's see.
You know, that was Bill Finger's contribution too.
No. This one is good. And useful. I would try to type and useful, but I ended up typing and weaseful. Amd weaseful. All right, we got it.
Done.
But when I cast the pot, it's like I cast the rod, keeping it hard like a motherfucker gas robot.
I'm reeling cod, today's fresh catch. I mean a podcast, something about nets.
Yes, it gets better when it's winter. I'm fettered by my fish gear, catch and release. Get in that crease when my fish near.
Talk about a plant best laid off that stray. And yes, I crave that tuna with his peck fin splayed. But while I'm glistening from the whole sea, you better listen into TLC.
I got that wild caught salmon. It's tender and it's moist.
Downloadable content, a podcast of choice.